This chain was more useful than the magic shoes. As he saw the iron shoemaker getting further away, Tang Mo turned his head and whispered, "Can we steal it?" Fu Wenduo didn't look at the iron shoemaker's chain, but he understood Tang Mo's meaning. Probably not. Tang Mo showed a disappointed expression and continued moving forward. Fu Wenduo looked up him with slightly curved lips, but he didn't speak. The chain was indeed a treasure, but Fu Wenduo had once gone against the iron shoemaker. Even if he teamed up with Tang Mo, he was afraid that they weren't a match for the iron shoemaker. The iron shoemaker was a bit more powerful than Pinocchio. He hadn't reached the level of Santa Claus and Grandmother Wolf, but it wasn't much different. The two men quickly crossed the factory area and returned to the entrance of the mall. It was dark and Fu Wenduo planned to find a place in the mall to stay for the night. Tang Mo saw his figure disappear into the safety stairs of the mall and he headed down to the second underground floor of the parking lot. Once he arrived at the infirmary on the second floor, he heard Liz and Luo Fengcheng's voice before he entered the door. Luo Fengcheng asked, "Did you really notify him?" Liz sounded anxious. "Really? I had just left the mall when I saw Tang Mo and a man in black. This must be the Mr. Fu that you mentioned." Once I said that the little girl came back, Tang Mo was very happy and said he would return at once. Then I went to inform the little boy. Now we are all back and Tang Mo hasn't returned. Doctor, did he get into trouble? Did he meet a stowaway or maybe an instance? Luo Fengcheng was about to speak when there was a knock. Everyone looked at the source of the sound. They saw the door being pushed open. Tang Mo stood at the door and smiled. "I entered an instance." Liz was relieved to see that the person she informed was back. She also felt a bit of remorse. "I should have gone with you at the time. Then you wouldn't have entered an instance. I know the instance entrance is around here." Tang Mo came into the room. "I entered a reality instance." He looked at Luo Fengcheng. "It is the iron shoemaker's instance. I went in with Fu Wenduo and cleared it." Next, Tang Mo repeated when he encountered in the iron shoemaker's instance. He ignored the reward he received and focused on the banned use of abilities and props in the instance. This was very important news. After listening, Luo Fengcheng said, "Thank you, this is very important. In the future, we will have to be prepared for the inability to use abilities and props in the game." Tang Mo said, "It is nothing." Luo Fengcheng looked Tang Mo up and down. After a long time, he smiled, "Okay, I won't thank you." Luo Fengcheng was keenly aware that something seemed to have changed in Tang Mo. This change might not be big but it was still a change. Before the change, Tang Mo would have told Attack this news. After all, almost everyone he knew had disappeared after the Earth went online. The few people who could be counted as friends were in Attack. However, he might not have spoken so quickly and without hesitation. Liz and another Attack member soon left. Lu Chen spoke a few words to Chen Shanshan before wiping the tears in his eyes and leaving the infirmary. Tang Mo noticed the action of Lu Chen wiping his tears and faintly detected something was wrong. He didn't ask and just watched the bamboo-like boy leave. Now only Tang Mo, Luo Fengcheng, and Chen Shanshan were left in the spacious infirmary. He left the reality instance of the iron shoemaker and finally saw this little girl again. Tang Mo always wanted this little girl to be his teammate. He never forgot that after getting so many abilities, only Chen Shanshan said that he had good luck in obtaining it. He walked to the bed and saw the little girl lying on the bed, leaning against a pillow. Her forehead and arms were wounded but her eyes were surprisingly bright. She looked seriously at Tang Mo and Luo Fengcheng. Luo Fengcheng said, "Shanshan has brought some interesting news. Tang Mo, I think this news is very important for you." Tang Mo looked at the little girl. Chen Shanshan nodded and spoke in a direct manner. Fei Fei and I entered the same Christmas Eve benefits instance. Our instance has a total of 10 people. I won't tell you the specifics of the game. Like Brother Tang and Teacher Luo, it was a team confrontation game. But we were divided into 5 groups. I wasn't in a group with Fei Fei. In the third round of the game, Chen Shanshan's voice stopped. Her wounded face didn't show much expression and her voice didn't change, but Tang Mo felt that she seemed a bit sad. Fei Fei died in the hands of a female player. Tang Mo's heart thumped as a little girl's bright and shy smile flashed through his head. He didn't speak because he didn't know what to say. He just quietly looked at the little girl in the bed. Chen Shanshan paused for a moment before continuing. In the 5th round, my companion and I were eliminated and we were forced into the tower attack game. My tower attack game is in the prison of the underground kingdom. I won't waste time talking about the specific rules of the time, but I found 2 main points in this game. Tang Mo asked, "What is it?" First, the players in the tower attack game might not be on the same tower floor. Tang Mo immediately understand Chen Shanshan's meaning. He spoke in a surprised manner. "You mean that you are on the 1st floor of the tower but there was a player attacking the 2nd floor of the black tower with you?" This news was really astonishing. Tang Mo couldn't help looking at Luo Fengcheng. Luo Fengcheng nodded at him with a dignified expression. This is Shanshan's meaning. The tower attack game she took part in had a total of 8 players. Once they entered the game, they become prisoners of the underground kingdom. Shanshan's group of 7 had a mission to kill a prisoner with a low sense of existence when the inmates are in the yard. But one person's task seemed to be different from theirs. Chen Shanshan took over. This player's behavior was a bit strange when entering the game. She reacted quickly and pretended not to be aware of anything. She discussed with us how to complete the task. But when the 8 of us were transferred to the game together, there was a shocked expression on her face as soon as she saw the 7 of us. Since then, I have been paying attention to her. Every player would definitely be nervous when sent to the tower attack game. Chen Shanshan was able to calm down first, while thinking to observe her teammates at the same time. This quality was very rare. Then she found something unusual. It is normal to be shocked when forced to enter the tower attack game and then pretend to be calm. But teacher once told me that a person who can hide themselves quickly must surely be a smart person. In a multiplayer game, you needed to be wary of the smart people in the team, not the opponents or the rules. Smart people only like to assert themselves and will harm the team. If the smart person has other intentions, it will be even more terrible than pig teammates. There is a need to strike first. Chen Shanshan calmly swiped a finger across her neck. Tang Mo looked at Chen Shanshan and Luo Fengcheng. What did Luo Fengcheng teach this little girl? Chen Shanshan said seriously, at first, I thought this woman had other problems. Then I found that some of her actions were very strange. As the game progressed, I realized that her mission might be different from the 7 of us. She added, this is just my guess. It is 30% based on inferences and 70% on intuition. Of course, I don't know what her mission was. It is because one night, before the 7 of us completed our task, she was killed by the guests of the underground kingdom. The guards dragged her terrible corpse to us and warned us that this was what would happen if we tried to escape. Tang Mo realized. Her task was to break out of the prison. Maybe that's it. I can't be sure. Chen Shanshan said, the prison is full of many crises. In the end, the 7 of us successfully cleared the first floor of the Black Tower. The moment we killed the strange prisoner, we were sent back to Earth. If her mission was to escape, our mission was too simple in comparison. On this basis, I can speculate that our task was for the Black Tower's first floor while the jailbreak task is probably for the Black Tower's second floor. Luo Fengcheng said, in the end, it is unsure if the female player had already cleared a floor of the Black Tower. But she was the most powerful of the 8 players, whether it was intelligence, judgment, decision-making, or ability. Tang Mo, Shinshin's speculation that the same tower attack game can have different level players is just a speculation. You can listen casually. Tang Mo thought for a while before saying, I believe in this speculation. Luo Fengcheng smiled. I also believe it. The little girl lying in bed heard her teacher and respected big brother confirm her own judgment. She slightly smiled and hid the pain of losing a friend deep in her heart. Tang Mo asked, there is still another key point. Chen Shanshan regained her spirit and continued, this matter I am certain of. When I left the tower attack game, the Black Tower asked me a question. It asked me if I wanted to continue attacking the tower. I chose no. Then it said that within 3 months, players can go to the Black Tower in various areas and choose to attack the Black Tower. If players don't attack the tower within 3 months, they will be forcibly pulled into the tower attack game. You can choose to attack the tower. This matter was even more shocking to Tang Mo. Chen Shanshan nodded. Yes. According to the Black Tower's words, a player can take the initiative to attack the Black Tower at any time. Otherwise, if the player can only passively attack the tower, they can't control the opportunities. If they don't attack the Black Tower in 3 months, they will be forced to enter the attack tower game. Luo Fengcheng went on to say, it says that players can go to the Black Towers in various districts to attack the tower. Therefore, Tang Mo, Luo Fengcheng looked at Tang Mo. I will wait for Jack and the little fatty to come back from Puxi. Then we will know if the players can take the initiative to attack the tower. Chen Shinshin's return brought 2 important news. First, there might be different level players in the same tower attack game. Second, players can actively open the tower attack game. Tang Mo was more concerned about the actively open the tower attack game. For any player, no one would want to enter a dangerous tower attack game. Even the easy mode of the tower attack game had many deaths. Before the passing of 3 months, few players would choose to actively enter the tower attack game. Why did the Black Tower give players this option? Unless choosing to enter the tower attack game was better than being forced to enter this advantage. Tang Mo suddenly thought of the real key point and he turned to Luo Fengcheng. Luo Fengcheng was also watching him. Luo Fengcheng saw the sudden realization on Tang Mo's face and asked, you understood so quickly? Before you came back, I discussed it with Shanshan. Normal players aren't willing to take the initiative to enter the tower attack game unless there is an advantage. There are 2 possibilities. The first one is when you actively entered the tower attack game, you can choose the game content, game difficulty, so on. This possibility is very low. The Black Tower would never give a player a choice. The other possibility is that, Tang Mo calmly spoke. The players who take the initiative to enter the tower attack game can choose their own teammate. Tang Mo stayed in the infirmary for a while. Now he planned to go and recover from his injuries, while carefully thinking about the 2 pieces of important information he learned today. As he was leaving, Luo Fengcheng said, you are injured. Do you need Liz to help you treat the wounds? Tang Mo shook his head. They are small injuries. There is no need to go to the trouble. Luo Fengcheng didn't insist. Just as Tang Mo was about to go out, the little girl's voice was heard. That's right, there is good news. Tang Mo and Luo Fengcheng turned to her. On the hospital bed, the always calm girl blinked. She showed a rare expression of joy appropriate for her age. Brother Tang, teacher, I became an official player. Tang Mo and Luo Fengcheng were startled. A long time ago, in the game where Tang Mo first met Luo Fengcheng, the game boss had told them, reserve players can also become official players as long as they complete a Black Tower game. This matter had long been forgotten by Tang Mo. It had been 2 months since the Earth went online and Tang Mo had never seen a reserve player become an official player. Perhaps the big mole had lied and reserve players couldn't turn into official players. Now Chen Shanshan told them that she had become an official player. The game that the reserve players needed to complete wasn't a Black Tower game but the Black Tower attack game. Tang Mo understood this truth and didn't know if he should laugh or cry. All official players had an ability. Luo Fengcheng was most concerned about what ability Chen Shanshan acquired. Chen Shanshan also wondered about this. She didn't feel like she had acquired a power. She couldn't move objects or becoming bigger. After becoming an official player, there was no difference from when she was a regular player. Tang Mo hinted, perhaps your ability is subtle. For example, an enhanced self-healing ability or an increase in brain power. Luo Fengcheng and Chen Shanshan started thinking. Tang Mo left the infirmary. He quickly found his usual business car. After entering the car, he took out his abilities book and flipped it to the 5th page. Under the dim light of a flashlight, small black lines of words appeared. Tang Mo's eyes were focused on the second line. Owner, Chen Shanshan, reserve player. Tang Mo stared at this line and the words gradually became owner, Chen Shanshan, official player. It really changed. Tang Mo looked carefully at the other words on the page. Apart from the owner line, Chen Shanshan's ability hadn't changed. Chen Shanshan cleared a black tower floor, so her ability level must have increased compared to 2 months ago. Tang Mo also felt it in his contact with her. Her thinking had become more agility, her analytical ability improved and the integration of information was more powerful. However, in Tang Mo's book, Chen Shanshan's ability was still at level 3 and hadn't changed. It may be that her ability level hasn't changed, or maybe after I collected her ability, the ability no longer has anything to do with her. Even if her ability is enhanced, my gathered ability won't change. Tang Mo thought that the second possibility was more likely. If Tang Mo's collected abilities could grow with the growth of the owner, this abilities book was too big of a golden finger. It would almost be like a bug. Tang Mo wasn't greedy. He thought for a while before gently closing the abilities book. But as he was closing the book, he suddenly became surprised. Tang Mo opened the book again and turned to the last page. Ability, look at my pure big eyes. Owner, Xin Feng, official player, type, special type function, have a face that looks harmless to humans and animals. The words and actions are easily recognized by others. The temperament of the player will change the longer the ability is used. Even if the ability isn't used, the face will look harmless to humans and animals. Level 2 restrictions, when using the ability, you need to look in the target's eyes for at least 5 seconds. Remark, hello, look at me. Big blue eyes, bling bling. Tang Mo version usage instructions, can only be used once a day. You need to have eye contact with the target for at least 10 seconds. The change in player temperament will take twice as long. I know that Tang Mo wants to look at other people for a long time. Now he finally has a reason to. Tang Mo slammed the book shut. He looked at this cheap abilities book and finally understood why his patience was so good with Xin Feng in the Iron Shoemaker's reality instance. After Tang Mo entered the instance, Xin Feng basically didn't tell him the truth. Tang Mo didn't know that the 2 previous players were killed by Xin Feng, but according to Tang Mo's normal nature, his tolerance for pig teammates had fallen to the bottom after the Pinocchio instance. Xin Feng clearly didn't state the rules of the game several times. Tang Mo should have taken a knife to his throat and forced him to either speak or die. But Tang Mo didn't do that. It was because of this ability, the ability look at my pure big eyes made the user look harmless so they could easily gain the trust of others. He could make himself convincing without using an ability. It was because this was in subtle influence. Chen Shanshan's ability was to continuously improve her intelligence, letting her become more intelligent. Xin Feng's ability was constantly changing his temperament, making him look more and more harmless. Even if you don't use the ability, he would be more believable than other people. Perhaps he relied on this to kill the previous players. Xin Feng was an official player while Fu Wenduo was a stowaway. From a certain point of view, the Black Tower really liked messing with people. Tang Mo thought this and opened the book again, turning to the page with this ability. His finger rubbed lightly over the change in temperament line. This ability is still a mandatory ability and I can't choose to give it up. Tang Mo whispered. He didn't know what this change in temperament meant and if it would change his appearance. But Tang Mo thought that after a long time, other people would see him as truly harmless. He felt cold. He preferred to speak directly with his strength, rather than play like a pig while actually be a tiger. Of course, it was good if this ability could make him more low-key. Tang Mo was still satisfied. After a night's rest, Tang Mo came to the infirmary. Luo Fengcheng looked solemnly at him. Shan can't strengthen her physique. Tang Mo turned to look with surprise. In the hospital bed, the wounded little girl was holding a small shining star in her hand. Tang Mo saw this star and remembered. In the Christmas Eve instance half a month ago, Chen Shanshan and Xiao Fifei had entered the game with the Christmas tree branch. They failed the Christmas Eve instance, yet they could use the Christmas tree branch to enhance this physical fitness. As if aware of Tang Mo's thoughts, Luo Fengcheng said, originally, I also thought that this Christmas tree branch couldn't be used. But last night, Shanshan's branch turned into a white star and flew to her. Just like with us, the star shone and wanted to enhance her physique as a Christmas present. But it failed. The star is still an star and Chen Shanshan's physical fitness hasn't been strengthened. Tang Mo recalled a sentence he read in the abilities book last night. Ability, super intelligent thinking. Restrictions, the upper limit of the judgment accuracy is 50% and physical improvements is 0%. She possessed super intelligence but abandoned all strength. Tang Mo was silent for a moment as he looked at the little girl in the bed. He went over and whispered, there is a gain for a loss. Since this weak point can't be made up, you should play to your strengths. Luo Fengcheng and Chen Shanshan were surprised when they heard his words. The two people looked thoughtfully at Tang Mo and didn't say anything. Luo Fengcheng and Tang Mo soon left the infirmary. Luo Fengcheng said, I will let you know when Jack comes back. Good. They waited for 2 days. At noon on January 6, Jack, Zhao Xiang, and Tang Jia rushed back to the mall. Luo Fengcheng sent Jack to find Tang Mo. Tang Mo entered the office and only saw Zhao Xiang and Jack. Luo Fengcheng explained, Tang Jiao and another member were injured and are now being treated by Liz. This time, we are gathered here to complete the agreement and let the little fatty tell you what happened in the assembly instance. Secondly, Tang Mo, it is as Chen Shanshan said. Players can now choose to enter the tower attack game. Tang Mo was slightly startled. Next, Zhao Xiang told Tang Mo what happened when the 4 people entered the banana pub assembly instance. As Tang Mo guessed before, different players would encounter tasks with a different difficult. The strength of the little fatties group was absolutely high in Shanghai. Their mission was to make wine for the banana pub to help complete this year's Banana Wine Festival. The Banana Wine Festival was an annual event in the Underground Kingdom. It made the Banana Pub a household name in the Underground Kingdom. Many people from the countryside and monsters from the Monster Kingdom would go to Banana Pub to taste this most delicious and famous wine. The Banana Pub held a Banana Wine Festival every year. Most players received the task of mixing into the Banana Wine Festival and becoming guests. Some of the more powerful players, like the attack members, received the task of making wine for the Banana Pub or to destroy the Banana Wine Festival. In the end, the 4 people in Jack's group tried and finally brewed real banana wine. The main material of banana wine is human blood. Monsters and the underground people like to eat players. Therefore, they really like to drink human blood. Zhao Xiang was pale when he talked about this cruel game. The underground people throw all types of limbs into the barrel to make wine. The human limbs are curved like bananas, this is banana wine. After talking about the assembly instance, Jack said, when we left Puxi, we heard a rumor that players could choose to enter the Black Tower on their own. Tang Xiao said that this was very important and we decided to look at the situation. We left the assembly instance early this morning and stayed at the Black Tower. At 6 in the morning, we saw 3 players walking up the Black Tower and then they disappeared. They should have just entered the Black Tower to play the tower attack game. Jack said that players could take the initiative to enter the Black Tower. But more importantly, the 3 players went in together. Tang Mo asked. Jack didn't understand why Tang Mo asked this question. He scratched his head and nodded. Luo Fengcheng looked at Tang Mo. I intend to go to Puxi with Jack tomorrow to inquire about the situation. The Black Tower is located in Puxi, so the Puxi players should know more news. He was inviting Tang Mo and Tang Mo was also interested. But just as he was about to speak, a loud and clear child's voice was heard in his mind. Ding dong. China Zone 2's official player Tang Mo has reached the 2nd level of the Black Tower. In 5 days, be prepared to attack the tower. Tang Mo's expression froze on his face. Jack and the little fatty didn't find anything strange. They just looked at him stupidly, waiting for him to respond. Luo Fengcheng looked at Tang Mo's expression and slowly narrowed his eyes. After a long while, he asked, what's wrong? The child's gloating voice broadcasted 3 times in Tang Mo's mind. Like 2 months ago, the Black Tower happily informed Tang Mo that he was going to attack the tower. However, the time limit was 5 days instead of 10. After the sound stopped, Tang Mo turned his head and looked at the Luo Fengcheng trio. There was a trace of concern and alertness in Luo Fengcheng's eyes, while Jack and the little fatty were purely concerned. Tang Mo sighed and helplessly smiled. You go first. I will go again in a few days. I was told by the Black Tower that I have to attack the tower. Tang Mo did 3 things in the 5-day preparation period. First, he prepared some weapons. After the events in Monster Valley, Tang Mo had a deeper understand of the monster's level in the Black Tower. With his present strength, he wasn't Grandmother Wolf's opponent. He needed to prepare more weapons. For example, prepare some hidden weapons for emergency use like Xing Feng. The second thing was that he needed to improve his strength. Strength wasn't just collecting more abilities and enhancing his body level. Good abilities were difficult to collect and Tang Mo wasn't able to collect the little fatty's ability. As for enhancing his physique, it wasn't urgent. What he really needed to do right now was improve his combat strength. After the battle with the Shu Polish wolves, Tang Mo clearly realized that pure power wasn't enough. He had a strong physique but it was like a child holding a big knife and waving it casually. It wasn't coherent. He once fought with Fu Wenduo in the underground parking lot. Tang Mo knew that Fu Wenduo intentionally gave him the initiative. Otherwise, Tang Mo could never be Fu Wenduo's level when it came to fighting. In the attack organization, only Tang Xiao was trained in boxing. But she was currently injured and couldn't teach Tang Mo. Moreover, she was only at an amateur level. There weren't many things that she could teach Tang Mo when her physical level was much worse. Tang Mo thought of Fu Wenduo. Tang Mo looked at the shoes on his feet and decided to go to Fu Wenduo. He didn't find the man. Fu Wenduo seemed to have disappeared. After that night, Tang Mo hadn't seen him again. Luo Fengcheng said that he and Fu Wenduo had reached an agreement. After the 4 people left the assembly instance, their information was supposed to be told to Fu Wenduo. But the attack organization failed to find him in the mall. Fu Wenduo had left the mall and maybe. Did he enter the tower attack game? Tang Mo thought of this possibility, took out the turkey egg and tapped it 3 times. The white turkey egg flashed with a faint light and Tang Mo whispered, Fu, then his voice stopped. There was an intense metal collision sound from the other end of the turkey egg. Then it sounded like something heavy fell to the ground. A second later, there was a violent impact sound. In the midst of the sounds of fighting, Fu Wenduo's surprised voice was heard. Tang Mo. He spoke quickly but his voice wasn't anxious. Tang Mo thought for a moment. Are you in a tower attack game? Fu Wenduo confirmed it. Yes. Then I won't bother you. Tell me if you have a need to use the archiver. Okay. The short call ended. Tang Mo had sought Fu Wenduo for 2 purposes. The first purpose was to ask the other person to teach him some fighting skills and improve his strength. The second purpose was related to his 3rd attack tower preparation. He wanted to invite Fu Wenduo to attack the tower together. Tang Mo made this decision after careful consideration. The Pinocchio instance and Iron Shoemaker instance proved that the difficulty of the game would increase when he played with Fu Wenduo. The latter instance wasn't obvious but the former was confirmed. And in the game, the 2 people's archiver could only be used once. But Tang Mo still made this decision. It was because a good teammate was more important than the difficulty of the game. Tang Mo had to admit that he and Fu Wenduo had a very tacit understanding. When they cooperated, they unconditionally trusted each other and could achieve the maximum benefits. This tacit understanding was very rare. Tang Mo was notified by the Black Tower to attack the tower. He speculated that with Fu Wenduo's strength, he would have also received the notice. Unexpectedly, Fu Wenduo acted first and entered the game. Well, it is good. If I don't go with him then at least the game should be simpler. Tang Mo thought. The next night, Tang Mo learned about the way to attack the tower from Luo Fengcheng. Now players can actively open the tower attack game. When the player walks under the Black Tower and chooses to attack the tower in their mind, the Black Tower will give a prompt. It will determine whether you will enter the game and if you will enter in a team. He paused and looked at Tang Mo. When do you plan to attack the tower and will you have teammates? Tang Mo replied, tomorrow and I will have no teammates. Luo Fengcheng said, at present, attack strength isn't enough and it is a bit risky to rashly attack the tower. I am going to let them prepare and then go to the tower again in February. He was telling Tang Mo that attack couldn't help him this time. Okay. Tang Mo didn't intend to invite the members of attack to attack the tower with him. He was attacking the Black Tower's 2nd floor while the members could only attack the 1st floor. No one knew what type of task would be encountered if they teamed up to attack the tower. Perhaps the existence of Tang Mo would increase the difficulty of the others and they would harm each other. Luo Fengcheng stared at Tang Mo and suddenly smiled. Live. A certain individual had said similar words the first time Tang Mo was forced to attack the tower. Now that he heard these words again, his mind couldn't help thinking of that man's face. He didn't know how Fu Wenduo was now. Tang Mo said with a smile, yes, I will live. The next day, Tang Mo came to Puxi. He stood and looked at the black tower in the distance. As the sun set, Huangpu River shone. Tang Mo looked casual but he had 4 knives tied to his leg, while he carried 2 daggers and a gun. He stood in front of the black tower and looked up, ready to attack the tower. At this moment, a loud voice rang out. Ding dong. China District 2's stowaway, Fu Wenduo has successfully cleared the second floor of the black tower. Tang Mo was slightly surprised. After a while, he laughed and whispered to himself, he didn't even use the archiver to pass. I should have no problem. The black tower had just finished its broadcast when it spoke again after 3 seconds. Ding dong. Europe District 1's official player Lina Jaffos has successfully cleared the second floor of the black tower. At this time, Tang Mo had already chosen to enter the tower attack game in his mind. He didn't have time to feel surprised at this announcement as the familiar Black Tower's voice rang in his head. Ding dong. The Black Tower's second floor, normal mode, is officially opened. The multiplayer game is loading, sandbox is being generated, sandbox loading complete, teammate information is loading, welcome to the Jewel Castle of the Queen of Hearts. A dazzling white light flashed in Tang Mo's eyes. When he opened his eyes again, he was in a dark corridor. This is a medieval European-style corridor. One side of the corridor was made of tall stained glass. Through the thick glass, a red heart-shaped moon hung in the sky. The other side of the corridor had a variety of paintings from Renaissance masters. Holbein's the Darmstadt Madonna, Raphael's the Beautiful Gardener and many other lost or treasured paintings hung on the walls of this corridor. The moment Tang Mo opened his eyes, he gripped the pink parasol. He was wary of an attack but the surroundings were calm. He looked around and his eyes stopped on 2 people. A young woman dressed in a white collar shirt was leaning against the wall and rubbing her eyes. Tang Mo looked at the other side. On one side of the corridor, 3 meters away from Tang Mo, a baby-faced man was leaning against the stained glass, smiling at Tang Mo. Red moonlight shone through the window, showing a variegated color on his face. He stared at Tang Mo and the smile on his face became more brilliant when he found Tang Mo looking at him. He slowly tilted his head and raised his right hand in a gun shape, pointing at Tang Mo. Bang. Tang Mo narrowed his eyes. The baby-faced young man was still staring at him with a smile, his body seeming to blend in with the red moonlight. The white-collared woman finally understood. She looked at Tang Mo and the baby-faced youth, focusing above their heads for a moment. The woman took a deep breath to calm down and said, you should have heard the Black Tower say that the teammate information is loading. Then I will confirm it now, are you my teammates? The author has something to say, old Fu, I will give a bad review. Why am I not my wife's teammate? Tang, old Fu cleared the game without using the archiver. I'm sure there will be no problem, a flag has been planted. Socially distant, hee, I'm just looking and not talking. Wait, who are you?